Hello dear students, today we are going to start class 9th Economics, chapter 3 Poverty as a Challenge, part 3. Students, in this part we will cover introduction, global poverty scenario, causes of poverty. Students, before starting the content, let us discuss the contents we have discussed in previous part, so that it will be easy for you, that is to understand today's contents. Students, in previous part we discussed about interstate disparities regarding poverty. We have seen that in different states the condition of poverty is different. The proportion of poor people is not the same in every state. Although state level poverty has witnessed a secular decline from the levels of early 70s. Students, whether the condition is not same everywhere, but in some states we can see decline in poverty. We can see the reduction in poverty, but it varies from state to state. But this decline is not same in all the states. It is different in different states. In some states it is declining very fast, but in some states it is not declining in the same pace. Students, recent estimates show that 20 states and union territories, the poverty ratio is less than the national average. On the other hand, poverty is still a serious problem in Odisha, Bihar, Assam, Tripura and Uttar Pradesh. Students, Odisha and Bihar continue to be the two poorest states with poverty ratio of 47 and 43% respectively. Along with rural poverty, urban poverty is also high in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Students, in some states there is a significant decline in poverty. Those states are Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and West Bengal. States like Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rates. Kerala has focused more on human resource development. Education system is very good there. People are literate. In West Bengal, land reforms measures have helped in reducing poverty. In Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution of food grains could have been responsible for the improvement. Their ration shops are working properly and it is helping the poor people. So all these factors are helpful in the reduction of poverty. Because of these reasons, in these states there is fast reduction in poverty. Students, will today discuss about global poverty scenario. We will see the condition as we have seen in the states. Now we are going to see the condition of poverty in different countries. Students, the proportion of people in developing countries living in extreme economic poverty, that is on less than $1 per day as defined by World Bank, has fallen from 28% in 1990 to 21% in 2001. There has been a substantial reduction in global poverty, but it is marked with great regional differences. Students, as World Bank has fixed the amount that a person, if he is getting $1 per day, that person is not poor, but a person is getting less than $1 per day, that person is considered as poor. So this, the percentage of poor people, if we will compare from the year 1990, it reduced to 21% in 2001. In 1990, the percentage was 28%, but it reduced in 2001 and the percentage is 21%. There has been a substantial reduction in global poverty, but it is marked with great regional differences. Students, as it is declining, but as we have seen when we compared the interstate disparities, so in the same way, country to country variations are there. In all the countries, the reduction rate is not same. So let us discuss the reasons. Although there has been substantial reduction in global poverty, it is marked with great regional differences. Poverty declined substantially in China and Southeast Asian countries as a result of rapid economic growth and investments in human resource development. Number of poor in China has come down from 606 million in 1981 to 212 million in 2001. Students, as we have seen decline of poverty in states, we have also seen that the reduction in poverty in some states it is fast and in some state it is not fast. It is slowly going on. The reasons we have also seen, wherever there is education system is working properly, geographical condition is good, government policies and programs are running properly, there we have seen the decline of the poverty fastly. As we have discussed, the interstate disparities regarding poverty. Now here we will see the global poverty scenario. Students, the proportion of people in developing countries living in extreme economic poverty, defined by the World Bank as living on less $1 per day, has fallen from 28% in 1990 to 21% in 2001. Here also we can see the decline in poverty. The people, according to World Bank, as living on less than $1 per day has fallen from 28% in 1990 to 21% in 2001. Here we can see the decline from 28% to 21%. Students, here we can notice that in China, poverty declined substantially, and Southeast Asian countries as a result of rapid economic growth and massive investments in human resource development. Students, the countries those focus on human resource, the decline in poverty can be seen there. The countries where the government focus on education, health and training of the people, surely we can see the decline in poverty in those countries. As China has done the investment in human resource, doing investment in human resource, so we can see the decline in poverty in China. In Southeast Asian countries, as a result of rapid economic growth and massive investment in human resource development. Because of investment in human resource in Southeast Asian countries also, they have shown the decline in poverty. Students, China very fastly reduced the poverty. The differences here in the countries of South Asia like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, the decline has not been a rapid. Despite decline in the percentage of the poor, the number of poor has declined marginally from 475 million in 1981 to 428 million in 2001. Where the decline is taking place, but that decline is not very fast in the countries like India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan. Students, if we talk about the countries, sub-Saharan African countries, poverty in fact rose from 41% in 1981 to 46% in 2001. In Latin America, the ratio of poverty remained the same. Poverty has also resurfaced in some of the former socialist countries like Russia, where officially it was non-existent earlier. Students, in America, the condition is little bit same, but the country Russia, where there was no poverty, it it can be seen again. Students, one table is given here that shows the situation of poverty in some selected countries in 2001. Students, with this table, we can come to know the percentage of population below $1 a day. In Nigeria, you can see 70%, 70.8% people below $1 a day. Bangladesh 36%, India 35.3%, Pakistan 17%, China 16.6%, Brazil 8.2%, Indonesia 7.5%, and Sri Lanka 5.6%. So with this table you can come to know the situation of poverty in these countries. Now students, we will discuss the major reasons for poverty in India. Students, there are many reasons behind the poverty. Or we can say there were number of causes for the widespread poverty in India. One historical reason, if we will discuss here, then we will come to know that the low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. Students, it is well known to all of us that once Britishers they ruled in our country, they used all the resources of our country. They were using the resources for the development of their own country. The policies of the colonial government ruined traditional handicrafts and discouraged development of industries like textile. As they discouraged the handicrafts, as people they were making manual products, or manually they were making the products, as they were taking the raw material from our country and the manufactured goods were sent again to Indian market. So people they preferred the mill-made products. That discouraged the handicrafts of the country. Traditional handicrafts, they were discouraged, they faced loss. Students, Britishers, they discouraged the development of industries like textiles. The low rate of growth persisted until the 1980s. This resulted in less job opportunities and low growth rate of income. As people were not getting jobs, that reduced their incomes. It was accompanied by a high growth rate of population. Students, increasing population is also one of the reason behind the poverty. Students, a failure at both the fronts, promotion of economic growth and population control, perpetuated the cycle of poverty. Students, as population is increasing recklessly, so increased population need jobs, food and other resources on large scale. So if we will not control the population, it will become a big reason behind the poverty. So there is need to control the population. It is very much needed for the economic growth. But we can notice the failure at both the fronts, because we have not seen the promotion of economic growth and there is no control on population. But there is need to control this. Students, the third problem here we will discuss as a reason for poverty is illiteracy. Students, illiteracy is also an important cause of poverty in our country, as illiterate people are not able to find good jobs. That's why they are not able to get good income, and less income is the reason behind the poverty. So there is need to improve the literacy level of the country. So literacy level should be improved in the country so that people they can get good jobs and they can get good income also. Now, disparity in the ownership of land holdings, the unequal distribution of land, lack of land resources, and failure in the proper implementation of land reform policies have been the major causes of poverty in rural areas. Students, another feature of high poverty rates has been the huge income inequalities. One of the major reasons for this is the unequal distribution of land and other resources. Despite many policies, we have not been able to tackle the issue in meaningful manner. Students, many of the farmers they're not having proper land to do farming on that. Lack of land resources and failure in the proper implementation of land reform policies have been major causes of poverty in rural areas. Major policies initiatives like land reforms, which aimed at redistribution of assets in rural areas have not been implemented properly and effectively by most of the state governments, since lack of land resources has been one of the major causes of poverty in India. As lands are not equally distributed, some of the people, those they are living in villages, they are having big lands, they are large farmers, but some of the farmers are not having their own land to do farming on that. They do the work as farm workers. So, this is the reason behind the poverty, because as a farm workers sometimes they are getting work, sometimes they are not getting work because of the seasonal nature of the agriculture. So, since lack of land resources has been one of the major causes of poverty in India, proper implementation of policy could have improved the life of millions of rural people. If the policies those are made by the government, if it is implemented properly, so by this some of the problems of the poor people can be solved. Students, unemployment is also one of the big reason behind the poverty. Lack of job security and unemployment are other causes. Students, when people they will face the problem of unemployment, they will not get income. And when they will not have income, they will face the problem of poverty. They will be not able to fulfill their basic requirements such as food, shelter, and clothes. So, surely they will face the problem of poverty. Students, with the spread of irrigation and the green revolution, many job opportunities were created in the agriculture sector, but the effects were limited to some parts of India. As students, green revolution started, it has given benefit to some states only. It has not benefited all the states, all the people same as. The industries both in the public and private sector did provide some jobs, but these are not enough to absorb all the job seekers. Unable to find proper jobs in cities, many people started working as rickshaw pullers, vendors, construction workers, domestic servants, etc. Students, there are not sufficient jobs for the people. Few people are getting jobs. Other people, they are unemployed. To get jobs, people they started working as rickshaw pullers, vendors, construction workers, domestic servants. Many of the people they migrate from villages to cities in search of good jobs. As they are not able to find jobs there, they become rickshaw pullers, domestic workers, vendors, construction workers, etc. Because they are not qualified enough to get the jobs. They started living in slums on the outskirts of the cities, and the problems of poverty. Largely, a rural phenomena also became the feature of the urban sector. Students, as most of the people they migrate from villages to cities to get good jobs, but there is lack of qualification, they are not educated, so they do ill paid jobs. Because of that, they are getting low income, and forcefully they have to live in slum areas, and there they face the problem of poverty. This can be easily seen in urban areas where migrants they have to live in slum areas. Students, the next reason is slow growth of employment opportunities. Despite the implementation of various employment generating programs, our government has failed to provide the necessary employment opportunities. As students in our country, number of people are unemployed. They need jobs. But according to the number of unemployed people, government is not able to provide jobs to the people. So there is need to provide more jobs to the people. There is need to generate more job opportunities in the country to fulfill the job requirement of the people. But we can see the failure of the government in this issue. Now, the next is socio-cultural factors. Students, socio-cultural factors are also responsible for poverty. Many other socio-cultural and economic factors also are responsible for poverty. In order to fulfill social obligations or social duties and observe religious ceremonies, people in India, including the very poor, spend a lot of money. Students, as rich people are spending a lot of money on ceremonies, on social obligations, poor people are also following them. They also spend much more money on the social obligations and ceremonies. For that, they have to borrow money. Small farmers need money to buy agricultural inputs like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Students, for farming, there is need for capital. The capital is arranged by small farmers by taking money. They take money from money lenders. They borrow money from them because they are not having proper savings. So that they have to borrow money from the money lenders, traders in the villages. Unable to repay the loan because of poverty, they become victims of indebtedness. Easily they are caught in debt trap. So the high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. As indebtedness they have to face, that is the reason behind the poverty and effect of poverty. Because of poverty they take the loan, and because indebtedness they have to face the poverty. They're not able to fulfill their needs because large part of their earning they have to use for the repayment of the loan. So this is one of the big reason behind the poverty. Indebtedness is also one of the big reason behind the poverty. So students, here we have discussed the issues, those are related as a cause for poverty. We have discussed many causes of poverty. Colonial rulers were responsible. Unemployment, illiteracy, socio-cultural and economic factors, increasing population, unequal distribution of resources, low income of the people. So many reasons are there in the country those are responsible for the poverty. In the last test your progress, students, some questions are given here. Try to answer this. Describe global poverty trends. Discuss the major reasons for poverty in India. Do you think that present methodology of poverty estimation is appropriate? So students, answer these questions. Thank you.